What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we are back once again and discussing some Detroit Lions training camp. And there's only one way to do it. There's only one way to recap this past week, and that is with the stock report. No? Mad? Okay, I thought of another one, but I think I may have stole this from somebody. Studs and duds. That sounds like some candy. Let's get it started.
What's up, guys? Jeremy Davis here, wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. Just want to encourage the Lions fans and any football fans in general to subscribe to my guys' channel, DoseOfDion.
Welcome everybody to another video. Glad you guys are here. It is good to be back once again and discussing some Detroit Lions training camp. Now, training camp for us is basically over. When it comes to takeaways, it's pretty much over. Training camp will continue, and in about a week from now, the Lions are going to start cutting down to that 53-man roster, that final roster, 53/55. They're going to start to cut down to that final roster. So until then, we're not going to get a lot of updates or really anything like that, unless it's injuries or anything like that, because media members only get about 15 to 20 minutes to even watch anything. So unfortunately, we're probably not going to get too many observations from here on out. So I thought we'd keep the tradition alive. We'd come back again with the stock report. That's the best way to recap the week. So if you haven't kept up with any of the videos this week, which, what are you doing if you have not? I mean, are you kidding me? If you haven't, though, this is the place to be, because in this video, we're going to run through some of the biggest names, some of the guys that have really stood out this past week, and some of the guys that have really hurt themselves this past week. Now, keep in mind, I did reach for a few of these. Like, some of them, I think you could put in the category of, they're kind of neutral. But I don't think that many players have had that bad of training camps where it's like, whoa, that guy's in trouble. I just don't see that. So in today's video, we're going to be recapping this past week. As you guys can see from the board, only 14 days away until the Detroit Lions kick off. That's going to be 13 in a few hours. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. I'm so excited. I'm so close we can almost taste it, guys.
I'm so close to solving this crime, I can almost taste it.
11 days away as of now. As of this time I'm uploading is 11 days and the NFL will be started. We got the Texans and Chiefs, I believe, on Thursday night, I think. Don't quote me on it, but I believe so. We're that close, guys. We are that close to the NFL season. We can almost taste it. That is a SpongeBob reference. I watch too much SpongeBob. I know I need to get a life. Let's get into today's video, man. Let's look at the players that stock has risen and the players that stock that may have fell a little bit, and also a few players that have kind of kept it a little bit neutral. Maybe some ups, maybe some downs. Let's start off with the players that stock that has went up. Now, we're going to be trying to look at some new names here, okay? We did this last weekend. I don't want to have all the same names. I'm trying to get some new names in here, some different guys in here that maybe you haven't heard a lot about, so that way you can get some new names, some fresh names in here, keep the thing entertaining, and also hear about some new players. But there are a few guys. There's just a few guys that we have to mention once again because they have been that great this past week. And we're going to start it off with our guy, Julian O'Quar. Now, Julian O'Quar, to me, his stock has risen. Now, his stock was pretty darn low last week. I'm not going to lie. His stock was really, really low. I don't know. I can't remember what I said last week, but I'm sure if I did say anything, it was either neutral or that his stock was down. It wasn't in a great spot. He seemed to pick it up like one day of practice last week, but it really wasn't that good. However, this week he has been picking it up a little bit more. He's been working with the second team, but his pass rush abilities have really been shown off. And that's what we drafted him for. I mean, that's who Julian O'Quar is. That's what he was out of Notre Dame. He wasn't a run stopper. That's where he needs to improve. But when it comes to his athleticism, you just can't teach it, man. The guy flies around. He's a great quarterback spy because that rushing quarterbacks are going to have a problem. He's very fast. That chase down speed is incredible. And his pass rush, I mean, that's what really stands out about him. That's why he was drafted so high. That's why some people thought he'd be a first-round pick before the injury, because his ability to get to the quarterback is really, really good. And that's what he's done with the Detroit Lions this past week. I mean, that's what's been shown off about him. So for me, yes, he struggled against the run, but that's not necessarily what I thought he would have year one, okay? That's going to take some time to develop. That's what he needs to work on. But when it comes to getting the quarterback, that's what I was expecting to get year one. And he started to pick that up this past week. I think that is a new name. So shout out to Julian O'Quar, Romeo O'Quar's brother. Also, let's mention Romeo O'Quar while we're at it. Romeo O'Quar had a really good week. Romeo O'Quar came up with an interception off a tip ball. What? Are you kidding? Yeah, a tip ball. He had an interception. He also had a sack. Romeo O'Quar picking it up. The O'Quar brothers are doing their thing, man. I'm telling you, I'm excited. I'm so excited to see this little tandem here. Two brothers, man. This is cool. Do other teams in the league have this, like brothers as pass rushers? I know the Packers have the Smith brothers, but they're not actually related, right? Za'Darius and Preston aren't related. These guys are related. This is really cool. They can play for across from each other. Could you imagine that? Both getting a sack at the same time? That would be pretty fire. That would be pretty fire. So shout out to the O'Quar brothers. Next up, Amani Oruwariye. Yes, I know you probably heard this last week. You've heard it throughout the week. You're like, man, we keep hearing about Amani. That's because he's been so dang good. And after you hear the praise that Corey Huntley gave him today, how could I not put him on here? Oh, yeah. I'm very, very impressed with Amani Oruwariye. I feel very confident starting him week one. What? Like, obviously, he's got to be on this list. Amani has been doing his thing. Day in and day out of practice, he has been great. And even when he's given up plays, he's been in great position. He's been in great coverage. And it's just Matthew Stafford and receiver just making a better play on the offense side of the ball. He's ready to go. He can start week 1 right now. If that was the case, if week 1 was today, I think he would start at the number 1 cornerback position or number 2 cornerback position. He'd be one of the top 2 out there. Amani has been really, really good in training camp, and he's surprised a lot of people. And in Corey Unlin's words, he looks like a seasoned veteran out there. So shout out to Amani, man. Still doing his thing, and he continues to do it day in and day out. That's great. That's exactly what you want to hear. This cornerback depth is coming together. Next up, we have Kerryon Johnson. My guy, Kerryon. You know I'm a Kerryon Johnson fan, and I don't think Kerryon's been on here yet. I don't know if he was on here last week, but I'm going to Kerryon Johnson in the up category. Look, Kerryon Johnson made some really nice plays in the passing game this past week. I know he can run the football. We heard his vision was improving, but when it comes to making plays out of the backfield in the passing game, that's where he had to improve. That's what we needed to see Kerryon Johnson add to his game. We need to see that element. Okay, we've seen flashes, but we need to see it consistently. He showed it consistently this week, made some big plays, and if Matthew Stafford can use Kerryon out of the backfield like DeAndre Swift, maybe not as much, but if you can also use him out of the backfield and be a threat out of the backfield to make some plays in the passing game, oh man, that running back group is going to be incredible. Shout out to Kerryon Johnson. Next up, another running back is Jason Huntley. Jason Huntley has done exactly what you want to do if you're Huntley. Take advantage of the opportunity. With Bo Scarborough, DeAndre Swift dealing with injuries, same thing with Ty Johnson. I don't have him in the up, but Ty Johnson's been doing his thing as well. Jason Huntley has surprised some people. Now, we knew Jason Huntley is fast, but maybe not this fast. He just looks so incredibly fast on the field. I mean, this guy is so explosive, probably the quickest player we have at that running back position. It reminds me of Java Best. It really does. And we already know he can catch the football. He has taken advantage of that opportunity with the second group. His vision looks great. He's going to get a little bit of a role with the short lines. He's going to make the team, okay? I'm telling you right now, he's making the team. There's no way he gets cut. If he gets cut, I would be shocked. He's going to make the team. Good thing for Jason Huntley, too, man. He's stepping in that role. He's had the opportunity to do it, and now he's doing it on the field. Awesome. Now, this one, I feel like, you know what? We can categorize this into one big group. The entire receiver group, okay? I have Jamal Agnew, Quintez Cephas, Marvin Hall listed. Forget it. The entire receiver group stock is up. Really, they set the bar high last week, and they continue to make the bar higher and higher and higher to the point where I can't even reach it anymore because these receivers are just great. I mean, Jamal Agnew doesn't drop anything. Everybody's speaking highly of him. Quintez Cephas just continues to find a way to get separation and shock everybody. Obviously, Marvin Hall, Danny Amendola, Kenny Galladay just do their thing. Debo Hall is coming alive, makes up huge grabs deep down the field. I mean, there's really not a receiver. Victor Bolden got mentioned. Jeremy Davis has been good with his route running. Chris Lacey's been crisp with his routes. There's really not a guy at the receiver position where I'm like, yeah, that guy's struggling. I mean, seriously, the entire receiver group as a whole, shout out to those guys, man. They are playing well. They're making it really difficult to cut some of these guys. You're going to have some talent that's going to be cut this year. The offensive line, we have Logan Stemberg. Now, Logan Stemberg had a little bit of a rough start to training camp, I will say that. He's with the second string, then Bo Benshaw was out, so he's getting reps to center, where he's doing okay. But they move him back to the guard position, and he looks really good. And finally, he gets his opportunity to be like, hey, this is what I do. This is what I do well. I'm Logan Stemberg. I run block. Well, with the second group, that's what he's been doing, and that's where the Lions have had success. Running behind Stemberg, okay? When they need to run the football, they go behind Stemberg, and he has had a lot of success at that left guard position. When you put him at the guard position, he's very successful. Center, not as much, but at least now we know we can play it if we have to. In a pinch, you could throw him in as a center position. Hopefully it doesn't come to that case, but you know you can, and you know he has that experience, which is great. But Logan Stemberg at that guard position, especially in the run game, is doing exactly what you would expect. Now, the pass game, there's still things that he needs to work on, and that's how it was coming out of college. He wasn't polished. That's why he fell to the fourth round. Because if he was polished, the dude would have been a first-round pick because he run blocks like that. Holding penalties, pass blocking, those are two things that he needs to work on. When it comes to run blocking, he's exploded. And now that he's back at his normal position, he's looked great. Shout out to Logan Stemberg. Next up, we have Stephen Wartell. Yeah, a weird name on here, but I had to put him in there. Stephen Wartell competing for the long snapper position. He's actually looking like he may have a little bit of a leg up in this race right now. He's competing. He's still here. He's still putting in the work. Stephen Wartell, we heard it from Dave Burkett himself that he said that he thinks that he has a slight advantage so far at the long snapper position, which is insane. But because of that alone, I had to put him on here. Next up, Tracy Walker, the Detroit Lions safety. Tracy Walker has been great so far in training camp. Tracy Walker's ability to play man-to-man and just really line him up wherever you want him. Wherever you want Tracy Walker, you can put him. And he also hasn't been a problem. Like, hey, you know what? We're going to work with you with the second group today because were trying to get Will Harris reps, sure, go do that. I'll ball out with the second group. And he's also the guy that put a stop to TJ Hockenson. TJ Hockenson, who last week just looked unstoppable, he did this week as well. When they put Tracy Walker on him, at least he could slow him down. At least he started to slow down that hype train with TJ Hockenson. He still looks great, but Tracy Walker, man, has kind of slowed that down. Walker continued to make plays in back end. Nearly had an interception on Matthew Stafford if it wasn't for going out of bounds. Jumps a couple of routes. Tracy Walker's going to be a beast. I mean, he is going to be a beast in the back end. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a Pro Bowl nod this season. But then again, you really never know because, I mean, heck, Matthew Stafford's had one Pro Bowl, and 2014 wasn't even his best year. And finally, I have CJ Moore. Again, when your special teams coordinator talks about you like Braden Coombs does, you know you're doing something right. CJ Moore got so much praise today from Braden Coombs, and there's really no reason I don't put him on here. Now, I do think there's more guys I could add to this. I think you could put guys like Ty Johnson on here. I think there's more players you could put on this list. However, I just want to get some new names. I don't want to name everybody. It just gets boring if I name everybody. It's like, really, is their stock really up? Some players did good, but these players to me really stood out, really separated themselves in this past week. Now let's go to the duds, or the guys that necessarily haven't separated themselves. And unfortunately, like last week, a lot of it is because of injuries. Look, if you're not on the field, there's not much I can do with you. If you're not on the field, I can't say, yeah, you had a good week, because you didn't. You weren't on the field. And just like Daryl Bevel said with DeAndre Swift, look, that's a problem. You know, we're not comfortable putting him out there if he's not on the field now because he's not learning the offense and he's not prepared heading into week one. So he's going to have limited snaps unless he can get back super soon. And I still expect him to have some limited snaps. So for a guy like DeAndre Swift or Bo Scarborough, those players, their stock is down a little bit. And it's not because they haven't been making plays, because when they've been on the field, they've made plays. The problem is they're just not on the field enough. And as unfortunate as it is, that's why their stock is down. You know, you really can't do anything about it, but that's just how it is. The best ability is availability. And just like any player across any sports, if you're not on the field, if you're not on the court, if you're not on the diamond, you can't prove anything to me. You can't show us anything. So unfortunately, your stock is a little bit down. So for those guys like Bo Scarborough, Hunter Bryant, DeAndre Swift, those players, their stock is down. Deshaun Hand, a little bit. I think Deshaun Hand definitely got back to the neutral spot by the end of the week because he started participating again. So unfortunately, some of those guys have stock down. Next up, Jesse James. Guys, we haven't heard anything from Jesse James. And as soon as we do, it's because he drops passes. Oh my, but that's not what we want to hear. I still have confidence Jesse James is going to add an impact to this offense. I do. He can block. I like that. But when it comes to training camp and the weeks that we've heard of him, haven't heard much. When we do, it's not good news. Fortunately, that puts you in the dud category. Nick Bawden, another guy that's been resting, that's dealt with injuries. Nick Bawden's in the dud category. And you know why? Not because he hasn't been terrible, because he's missed some time, and Jason Cabinda has stepped in that role, and it's looking like he's not out of place at all. Jason Cabinda has stepped in. He looks like he's been a fullback his entire career. It's like, hold up. This guy could literally take that job. So I'm telling you, Nick Bawden, get back out there, man. Go prove yourself because Jason Cabinda is really pushing you for that role right now. Will Harris. Okay, Will Harris has not had the best training camp. I get it. He's also being thrown into the first string roles against some of the best receivers in the league. We have the best receiving core. Let's just get that straight right now. We may not have the best receiver. We have the best receiving core in the league. There's just no one that matches up with this receiving core. So he's thrown out there against the best. And you have TJ Hockenson just to make it a little bit tougher. Oh yeah, let's match him up with some running backs like Jason Huntley out of the backfield. Yeah, that makes it a lot easier. He's got a really tough, difficult situation. But the Lions want to make sure he's prepared. And you know what? Sometimes that's the way to do it. Throw him out there, throw him into the fire, and be like, hey, you know what? We're going to need you. You could struggle now. We're going to need you. He hasn't necessarily been bad, but there's a lot of, like I said, I have to really reach for some of these because there have been that many players in my mind that's like, yeah, this guy's been awful. A lot of these guys maybe just had a couple of slip-ups, so they're on this list. Jeffrey Yokuda, I'm putting him in the neutral category. Okay, he's been in way better position. He's been way better than week one. However, he's still not there yet. He's just not there yet. And I think a lot of it has to do with Amani just playing so well. It makes him look a lot worse than maybe he really is. Also in the neutral category, I have Tony Mcrae. Tony was set to be, whoa, his stock is flying through the roof. But unfortunately, Tony Mcrae has dealt with an injury, and right now, I don't know how serious it is. Also, Michael Ford, who's been pretty good. He's been pretty good through training camp. He dealt with an injury, but the good news is Michael Ford, not a serious injury, just a rolled ankle. The thing is, Tony Mcrae, I just don't know what's going to happen there. And DeAndre Swift, unfortunately, I got to put him in the down category. It's not like he's going to be bad. I know DeAndre Swift is going to be a beast. I know he could be the best rookie running back in the league. The problem is, again, he's just not available. He has not been on the field really at all this week in practice. So those are your studs and those are your duds from week 2 of Detroit Lions training camp. Again, when I call it a dud, it's not me saying this guy's going to be bad or he is bad. It's simply this. You're dealing with injuries. Maybe you had a couple of hiccups or maybe someone else has just played so well. It just maybe doesn't make you come off the best. Lions have a ton of talent. And overall as a whole, I would give Detroit Lions an A. an A grade. As a whole, the Detroit Lions roster has been showing up. Everybody, you can go through the entire depth of every position. The wide receiver position is a perfect example. There has been no drop-off whatsoever. There has been no drop-off in the punter position. There's been no drop-off at the long snapper position. I mean, guys, these people have shown up. They're ready to go. The chemistry has been great. Let's not mess it up. Let's continue to roll this thing. We won't get to hear about much of them, but those are your studs and duds from week 2. What do you guys think? Who else should be added to this? There's definitely other players that you could put on here. I left some room for you guys to add some players. I didn't put all 80 players on the Lions roster. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who was a stud and who was a dud? You guys kept up with me throughout the week. Who am I missing? Who would you put on here? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out. But hold up, before we get out of here about the fantasy league, okay, we're probably not going to get to it tonight just because it's too late. So here's the plan. Throughout the next week, we're going to schedule these. I know a lot of people have been saying, hey, can you just let me know when it's going to be? I don't know yet. Throughout this week, we're going to schedule them, okay? So we're going to figure it out. I'll try to figure that out tonight, and hopefully by next week, which is Monday, we can kick this off, and we'll get this thing going, and we'll have all the dates scheduled for the draft. So make sure you guys are active, and let me know. Don't just ask me. If you guys have a certain date or a certain time that works best for you, let me know. I'll put it in the community. I'll see how everybody else reacts to it and how everybody else can do things, and we'll try to find a date. All right? Thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you guys rocking with me, and I'm out.